Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Every morning you wake up, you've got a choice. You can hit snooze or you can hit greatness. You can stay asleep or you can rise up and take control of your destiny. Because when the world is sleeping, champions are grinding. When everyone else is dreaming, you're making your dream a reality. You say you want success. You say you want freedom. You say you want to change your life. Then start by changing your morning. 4 a.m. isn't just a time, it's a mindset. It's a declaration that you refuse to live average. It's a statement to your excuses that they no longer control you. When you wake up at 4 a.m., it's quiet. Nobody's texting you. Nobody's calling. Nobody's distracting you. It's just you, your goals, your grind, your purpose. That's when you find clarity. That's when you build discipline. That's when you separate yourself from the 97% who keep saying tomorrow. 4 a.m. isn't about the numbers on a clock. It's not about how early it looks on your phone screen when the alarm goes off. It's about what that hour represents. It's about who you decide to become when you rise while the rest of the world sleeps. 4 a.m. is not a time, it's a mentality. It's the hour when discipline wakes up and excuses go to sleep. It's the moment when you choose your purpose over your pillow. It's not about proving anything to anyone else, it's about proving something to yourself. When that alarm hits and your body screams no, that's the moment your life either moves forward or stays stuck. Because greatness is built in those quiet, uncomfortable moments, not when it's convenient, not when it's easy, but when you decide that average isn't enough for you anymore. 4 a.m. doesn't care who you are, how you feel, or what you did yesterday. It's neutral, it's fair. It gives the same opportunity to the billionaire and the beggar, the dreamer and the doubter. The difference is not in the clock, it's in the choice. The choice to rise or the choice to rest, the choice to grind or the choice to give in. See, 4 a.m. is the time when your future starts testing your present. It's when your dream asks, how bad do you want it? And your decision to get up answers back, this bad. It's when you take command of your mind, when you silence the voice that says, you can do it later. No, later doesn't exist. Later is a myth. All you have is now, and 4 a.m. belongs to those who understand that time doesn't wait for anyone. When you wake up at 4 a.m., you're not just starting your day early, you're starting your life early. You're creating hours that the world doesn't even see. You're building something in secret that will shine in public. People will look at your success and call it luck, but they'll never see the sacrifices you made in the dark. They'll never see the mornings when you fought with your own mind and won. They'll never understand that success doesn't come from talent or timing, it comes from timing yourself with discipline. 4 a.m. is a statement. It's saying, I will not live on the world's schedule. I will live on my own purpose. It's when you take ownership of your time, your energy, your direction. Every time you wake up early, you're strengthening your mental muscles. You're proving that you can control your body, that your mind can command your emotions, that your purpose is stronger than your excuses. That's why the hour doesn't matter, the mindset does. Because once you master the 4 a.m. mentality, you can apply it to everything: your work, your relationships, your health, your faith. 4 a.m. is where you stop living life by accident and start living it by intention. It's not about waking up early, it's about waking up to your potential. At 4 a.m., the world goes quiet, the noise stops, the distractions fade. There are no notifications buzzing, no voices competing for your attention, no chaos demanding your energy. It's just you, your thoughts, your purpose, and that deep silence that most people never experience. And that silence, that stillness, is not emptiness, it's power. It's the sound of focus. It's the atmosphere where greatness is born. When the world sleeps, your spirit wakes up. When the world is silent, your vision starts to speak. You begin to hear what's been buried under the noise of everyday life, the call on your life, the fire in your heart, the dreams that you've ignored for far too long. Silence doesn't weaken you, it strengthens you, because in that stillness you meet yourself, the real you, not the one shaped by pressure, by opinions, or by doubt, but the one built for something greater. See, Most people fear silence because silence forces them to face their truth. It reveals the laziness they hide behind excuses, the pain they bury under distractions, the potential they've left untouched. But if you can face that silence and not run from it, you'll come out stronger, you'll come out clearer, because clarity doesn't come from comfort, it comes from quiet. The early hours are sacred not because they're dark, but because they strip away everything fake. They give you time to plan, to think, to build, to pray, to focus. That's when the ideas come. That's when the breakthroughs happen. That's when your future starts whispering instructions if you're quiet enough to hear them. In silence, you gain vision. While others are distracted by what's loud, you're locked in on what matters. While others waste time reacting, you're preparing. The 4 a.m. silence is your secret weapon, the place where you grow when no one's watching, the place where your mind sharpens and your resolve hardens. You learn to operate in peace while the world lives in noise. You learn to listen to your spirit more than your surroundings, and that makes you unstoppable. Because once you've built strength in silence, you can't be shaken by noise. You can't be broken by pressure. You've already learned how to move without applause, how to fight without a crowd, how to grow without validation. And that's what separates the strong from the soft. The strong learn to find energy in solitude. They understand that silence isn't the absence of sound, it's the presence of control. It's the space where focus breathes, where vision grows, where purpose matures. So when you rise at 4 a.m., don't run from the quiet. Embrace it, use it, build in it, because in that silence you'll hear the voice that matters most, the one inside you saying, "It's time." That voice doesn't shout, it doesn't compete, it waits for you to be still enough to listen. And once you do, your life will never sound the same again. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline is permanent. Motivation gets you excited for a moment. Discipline keeps you moving for a lifetime. Motivation whispers, "You can do it." Discipline commands, "Do it anyway," because motivation depends on how you feel, but discipline depends on who you decide to be, and the truth is, your feelings will fail you. They'll lie to you, they'll tell you you're tired, that it's okay to rest, that you'll start tomorrow, but discipline doesn't wait for permission. Discipline shows up when motivation is nowhere to be found. You've got to understand every successful person you admire didn't make it because they were always motivated. They made it because they were disciplined. They didn't rely on a feeling, they relied on a standard. They had mornings when they didn't want to move, when the bed felt warm, when their mind said, "You've done enough." But they moved anyway. That's the difference. Motivation gives you the spark, but discipline builds the fire. And when you have that kind of fire inside you, no storm can put it out. When that alarm goes off at 4 a.m., you won't feel motivated. You'll feel tired, frustrated, maybe even angry. But that's the test. That's where discipline is born. Every time you ignore the feeling and follow the mission, you're building the muscle that separates the great from the average. Because greatness doesn't show up once, it shows up every day, whether it feels good or not. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. It's pushing through pain, fatigue, doubt, and fear. It's doing one more rep, one more call, one more hour. It's giving your best even when no one's watching, even when no one's clapping. Motivation might get you started, but discipline will finish the race. Motivation will make you start a goal. Discipline will make you achieve it. Motivation will get you excited to change your life for a week. Discipline will make you change it for good. And that's what you've got to understand. Discipline isn't punishment, it's freedom. Because when you're disciplined, you control your life instead of life controlling you. You no longer need to wait for the right moment because you create it. You no longer wait for energy because you've trained your mind to move without it. Discipline is the bridge between desire and destiny. You can want something all day long, but without discipline, it stays a dream. You can have passion, but if you don't have structure, you'll never see progress. It's easy to be motivated when life is good. It's easy to work hard when people are watching. But the question is, can you still show up when you don't feel like it? Can you still wake up when you're tired? Can you still move when your emotions say stop? That's discipline. And when you master that, nothing, no setback, no failure, no fear can stop you from becoming everything you were born to be. Every single day begins with a battle. The moment that alarm goes off, you're standing at the starting line of your life, and whether you realize it or not, that first hour determines everything. Because if you can win the morning, you can win the day. You can't expect to dominate your life if you can't even dominate the first hour of it. The morning sets the tone for your energy, your focus, your discipline, your mindset. You don't start your day when you open your eyes. You start your day when you decide to take control of it. When you wake up at 4 a.m., you're sending a message to yourself and to the universe that you're in charge. You're saying, I'm not waiting for the world to move me, I move the world. You decide what happens next. You're not rushing, you're not reacting, you're not catching up, you're ahead. You're proactive, not passive. You own your time instead of letting time own you. That's power. Most people wake up already losing because they start in chaos. They wake up late, hit snooze 5 times, scroll their phone, and wonder why the day feels heavy. They give away their peace before the sun even rises. But when you control the morning, you step into the day with clarity. You've already spent time with your thoughts, your goals, your purpose. You've already invested in your growth before the world even knocks on your door. You've prayed, you've planned, you've pushed yourself physically or mentally. You've done more by sunrise than most people will do all day. And when you start like that, you carry momentum. The world can't knock you off course because you're already aligned. You've already built strength before anyone else has started. The truth is, the morning is the foundation of everything. If you build it right, the rest of your day stands tall. If you build it sloppy, the rest of your day crumbles. When you take charge early, you stop playing defense and start playing offense. You're not reacting to problems, you're preventing them. You're not waiting for opportunities, you're creating them. The person who controls their morning doesn't just stay organized, they stay unstoppable. And listen, it's not about perfection, it's about intention. It's about making your first hours count. Because if you can discipline yourself when it's hardest, when the bed feels warm and the world feels asleep, you've already proved you can control yourself when life gets loud. That's what separates average people from achievers. They don't let the morning happen to them, they make it happen. They know the first few hours are sacred. It's when they load their mind with focus, their body with energy, and their spirit with purpose. When you wake up early and take control, the rest of the world starts to feel like it's catching up to you because it is. You're no longer chasing the day is chasing you. While they sleep, you build. That's the difference between ordinary and unstoppable. That's the difference between average and exceptional. Most people say they want success, but they want to sleep more than they want to win. They want comfort more than they want progress. And while they dream about it, you're out here doing it. At 4 a.m., when their heads are still on pillows, yours is filled with purpose. While they're hitting snooze, you're hitting goals. While they're waiting for motivation, you're creating momentum. Every great person you've ever admired, every success story you've ever heard had a season when nobody saw them. They were grinding in silence. They were working when the world was sleeping. You can't expect to live a life of significance if you're doing what everyone else is doing. The world rewards those who go beyond normal. It rewards those who are willing to sacrifice sleep for success, comfort for calling, and excuses for execution. Because what you build in the dark will always shine in the light. At 4 a.m., there's no applause, no one's watching, no one's cheering. It's just you versus your excuses, you versus your old habits, you versus that lazy version of yourself that wants to go back to bed. And every time you win that fight, you're building something powerful inside of you. You're building belief, you're building consistency, you're building discipline. Those early hours are like bricks. Every morning you show up, you lay one more. And one day, those bricks become your empire. People will look at your success and call it luck. They'll say, you're blessed. They'll say, you got lucky. But they'll never see those mornings when you woke up in pain. They'll never see those nights when you went to bed late and still got up early. They'll never understand that you were sacrificing for something greater while they were sleeping through their potential. Success doesn't happen by chance, it happens by choice. Every morning you choose to rise, you're choosing to leave the crowd behind, and the beauty of it all, you start to love it, you start to crave it. You start to realize there's something sacred about being awake while the world sleeps. You see things they don't see, you feel things they'll never feel, the air feels different, the world feels still. It's just you and your mission. That's when you realize success isn't built in the spotlight. It's built in the shadows. Every great athlete, every powerful leader, every legend had their 4 a.m. moments unseen, unnoticed, uncelebrated. That's where they grew. That's where they built the mindset that carried them to the top. You're not just working, you're transforming. Every rep, every hour, every quiet morning is shaping the person you're becoming. While they rest, you rise. While they dream, you act. And one day, when they wake up to your results, it'll be too late for them to catch you because you were building while they were sleeping. Comfort is the silent killer of dreams. It looks innocent. It feels good. It whispers, you've done enough. When you know deep down you haven't even started. Comfort will keep you warm while your destiny freezes outside the door. It'll make you believe that rest is reward when in truth, it's resistance. And that's why most people never change. They get addicted to comfort, and they confuse it with peace. But real peace doesn't come from comfort, it comes from conquest. You see, comfort is the enemy of greatness because it convinces you to stop. It convinces you that the little progress you made is enough. It tells you that you deserve to relax after doing the bare minimum. But the truth, the moment you settle, the moment you stop pushing, you start dying. You either evolve or you evaporate. Growth requires friction. It requires heat. It requires discomfort. You can't become strong if you're never stretched. You can't grow if you refuse to be challenged. At 4 a.m., when you leave your bed while your body screams to stay, that's not just a physical act, that's a spiritual declaration. You're saying, I will not be controlled by comfort. I will not be ruled by feelings. I will not let ease destroy my edge. That's power. Because the moment you conquer comfort, you become unstoppable. Most people are slaves to how they feel. You rise regardless. You show up regardless. You move regardless. When you chase comfort, you live small. You take what's given, you follow the crowd, but when you chase growth, you live bold. You take what's yours, you lead, and that's why the 4 a.m. wake-up isn't just about time, it's about transformation. It's training your mind to do what your emotions don't want to do. It's preparing your spirit for the kind of battles that comfort could never win. Think about every version of yourself you've ever wanted to become: the focused one, the disciplined one, the unstoppable one. That version of you doesn't live in comfort. That version of you lives in the grind. That version of you is forged in pressure. Diamonds aren't made in soft places. They're made in fire. So if you want to shine, you better stop running from the heat. Every time you choose comfort, you stay the same. Every time you choose growth, you evolve. Comfort will always cost you more than discomfort ever will, because comfort costs you your future. Comfort costs you your potential. Comfort costs you the person you were meant to become. So when that alarm goes off and you feel that pull to stay under the blanket, remember that's not rest calling your name. That's regret trying to seduce you. The greats didn't choose comfort. They chose growth. They chose the struggle. They chose the climb. They traded temporary ease for eternal excellence. And that's what separates winners from watchers. Comfort may feel safe, but nothing legendary ever happens in safety. Step out, wake up, move forward, because the minute you kill comfort, you birth greatness. Your mind is the most powerful weapon you have, but for most people, it's the most underused one. You can train your body all day. You can work long hours. You can grind until the sun comes up. But if your mind isn't right, none of it will matter. Because success doesn't start in your hands, It starts in your head. Every action begins with a thought. Every victory begins with belief, and every defeat begins with doubt. The difference between winners and quitters isn't strength, it's mindset. Your mind is a battlefield. Every morning when that alarm rings at 4 a.m., the fight begins. A voice inside you whispers, "Stay in bed, you deserve more sleep." Another voice shouts, "Get up, you've got work to do." Which one wins depends on which one you feed. If you feed fear, you'll always be paralyzed. If you feed doubt, you'll always hesitate. But if you feed discipline, if you feed focus, if you feed vision, nothing can stop you. Because once your mind is aligned with your mission, your body will follow. Most people lose because they don't know how to control their thoughts. They let worry, comparison, and fear run wild. They think success is about luck, when it's really about mindset. You've got to program your mind for greatness the same way an athlete trains their muscles. You've got to build mental strength, repetition after repetition, day after day. Every time you push past your limits, you're telling your brain, "We don't quit." Every time you show up tired and still deliver, you're teaching your mind that feelings don't make decisions, purpose does. Your mind will believe whatever you tell it repeatedly. So stop telling yourself you can't, that it's too late, that it's too hard. Start telling yourself that you're built for this, that you were made for more. That every setback is a setup for a comeback, because if you think small, you'll live small. But if you think big, if you dream bold, if you believe without limits, you'll start walking in power that average people can't even comprehend. At 4 a.m., when you train your mind to rise when it doesn't want to, you're sharpening your greatest weapon. You're building a mind that doesn't fold under pressure, that doesn't break when it's tired, that doesn't quit when it's tested. And that's what separates the strong from the soft, because life will hit you hard. It'll knock you down, it'll strip you of comfort, it'll test your faith. But if your mind is trained, if it's disciplined, if it's fortified with belief, no storm can take you out. The most dangerous person in the world is the one who has mastered their mind, because once you win there, you've already won everywhere else. You can't be stopped, you can't be broken, you can't be shaken. When your mind is unshakable, your success becomes inevitable. That's why you wake up early. That's why you grind when no one's watching. You're not just training your body, you're training your mind to dominate every challenge, every fear, every excuse that tries to keep you small. Motivation will get you started, but discipline will keep you going when motivation disappears. Because let's be real, you won't feel motivated every morning. You won't always wake up with energy. You won't always feel inspired. And sometimes you won't see results fast enough to stay excited. That's when most people quit. They were driven by emotion, not by discipline. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire that keeps burning when everything else goes cold. You don't need to be motivated to do the work. You need to be disciplined enough to do it even when you don't want to. That's the secret the greats understand. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Motivation is about how you feel. Discipline is about what you've decided. Motivation says, "I'll do it when I feel like it." Discipline says, "I'll do it because I said I would." Motivation fades when life gets hard. Discipline gets stronger in the struggle. At 4 a.m., no one's cheering for you. No one's posting quotes to pump you up. It's just you, the silence, and that alarm clock daring you to rise. That's when you separate the dreamers from the doers. The motivated will hit snooze. The disciplined will rise. Because discipline doesn't wait for comfort, it doesn't negotiate, it doesn't ask for permission, it does what needs to be done no matter how it feels. People talk about success like it's magic. They want shortcuts. They want hacks, but the truth is, success is simply discipline applied daily. It's choosing structure over chaos. It's choosing focus over distraction. It's choosing the grind over the excuse. It's doing what you said you would do long after the feeling that made you say it is gone. That's why so few people make it. Because most people rely on motivation to carry them through storms. But storms don't care how you feel. Only discipline survives the rain. Discipline is what makes you consistent. And consistency is what makes you unstoppable. You can't build greatness by being on one day and off the next. You can't change your life with random bursts of effort. You've got to show up every day, every hour, every time. You've got to become the kind of person who doesn't need to be told twice, the kind of person who gets things done even when no one's watching, the kind of person who keeps promises especially to themselves. Discipline means saying no when your body says yes to laziness. It means sacrificing temporary comfort for permanent power. It means trading "I don't feel like it" for "I'm doing it anyway." Every rep, every routine, every early morning builds something in you that no motivation ever could character. The kind of character that wins when the lights are off, when the cameras aren't rolling, when no one's clapping. Motivation might make you start the race, but discipline makes sure you cross the finish line. And when it's 4 a.m. and that alarm goes off, you'll know this isn't about a feeling, it's about a commitment, a decision, a lifestyle, because discipline doesn't need inspiration. Discipline is inspiration in motion. Momentum is everything. Once you get it, you become dangerous. Once you lose it, everything gets harder. That's why waking up at 4 a.m. is so powerful, because it puts you in motion before the world even starts. While everyone else is sleeping, you're stacking wins, you're moving, you're creating energy. You're getting ahead while the rest are standing still. The earlier you start, the more momentum you build, and momentum is what turns ordinary people into unstoppable forces. When you wake up at 4 a.m., you don't just get extra hours, you get leverage. You get silence. You get focus. You get uninterrupted time to move your vision forward. No texts, no calls, no noise. Just you, your purpose, and the grind. And that early grind creates a rhythm. You start the day on offense instead of defense. Most people wake up reacting to alarms, to emails, to other people's demands. But when you rise early, you start by creating. You set the tone. You control the day. That's momentum. You ever notice how one small win early in the morning can change your entire day? That's no accident. That's momentum in motion. You win the morning, you win the day. You win the day, you win the week. You win enough weeks, and you change your life. It all starts with that 4 a.m. decision to move when others stay still, to rise when others rest, to push when others pause. Momentum is built on small, consistent actions that compound. You might not see the results right away, but they're building underneath the surface. The person who wakes up early, reads, works out, plans their day, that person walks into the world already winning. They've already invested in themselves before most people have even opened their eyes. They carry a different energy, a different fire, a different confidence. Because deep down, they know they've already put in the work. When you move early, life starts moving with you, doors open, ideas flow, opportunities show up, not because of luck, but because you're ready. You've aligned your mind, your habits, and your actions. You've built a pattern of progress. You've created momentum that's too strong to stop. People will look at you and wonder why everything seems to fall in your favor. They'll say you're lucky, but it's not luck, it's momentum. You built it while they were asleep. Momentum changes your identity. It turns effort into ease. It makes what used to feel impossible now feel natural. When you've been waking up early, grinding, showing up, and stacking wins for weeks or months, you no longer need to convince yourself it's who you are now. You don't chase motivation anymore. You move on momentum. You wake up, you go, you execute. The motion itself becomes your power. That's why the 4 a.m. wake-up isn't just a habit, it's a weapon. It gives you an edge in a world full of hesitation. While they're still warming up, you're already in full stride. While they're catching up, you're already closing deals, finishing workouts, and building dreams. You've got that early fire, that unstoppable flow. Momentum isn't luck. It's earned one 4 a.m. morning at a time. You become what you repeat every day. It's that simple, but it's that real. You don't become successful because you want it. You become successful because you practice it. Every single morning you rise before the world. You're shaping your identity. Every 4 a.m. alarm you conquer, every excuse you kill, every quiet grind session you commit to its building the person you're destined to become. You're not just changing your schedule, you're changing your story. See, success isn't built in the big moments, it's built in the small, repetitive choices you make daily. It's built in the routine, in the consistency, in the repetition that no one sees. Every day you show up early, every day you push past tired, every day you choose discipline over comfort, you're carving new patterns in your mind. You're reprogramming yourself for greatness, because habits shape identity. What you do repeatedly becomes who you are permanently. Most people fail because they want instant results. They do something great once or twice and expect transformation. But repetition is the mother of mastery. You can't change your life by doing something occasionally. You've got to do it consistently until it becomes your new normal. You've got to make greatness a lifestyle, not an event. You've got to make excellence a reflex, not a reaction. That's why the 4 a.m. grind is so powerful. It teaches you consistency. It teaches you to show up no matter what. You can't fake repetition. You can't fake early mornings. You can't fake effort. The more you repeat the right things, the stronger you become mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. You start to crave structure. You start to love the discipline. You start to feel uncomfortable when you're not growing. That's when you know you've evolved, when the grind becomes your comfort zone and comfort starts to feel foreign. Every single repetition is a seed. You plant enough of them and one day the harvest will come. You'll look around and realize your life is the result of your habits. The way you think, the way you move, the way you react, all of it is the sum of what you do daily. That's why your morning matters. That's why those early hours matter, because how you start your day determines how you live your life. So ask yourself, what are you repeating? Are you repeating procrastination or progress, excuses or execution, fear or faith? Because whatever you do the most will eventually define you. If you rise early, grind hard, stay focused, and live with purpose, success won't be a question, it'll be a consequence. You become what you practice. You become what you prioritize. You become what you repeat. So if you keep showing up, keep grinding, keep rising before dawn while the world sleeps, you're not just building a better morning, you're building a better you. The kind of you that doesn't need to talk about success because you live it every single day. You've got one life, one shot, one chance to give the world everything inside you before that clock runs out. And every single morning when that alarm hits 4 a.m., that's not just a sound, that's a calling. That's the voice of destiny saying, get up, it's time. It's not just another day, it's another opportunity to rewrite your story, to prove to yourself that you're not like everybody else. The world is full of people who talk about change, but very few who wake up early enough to make it happen. You've been given the same 24 hours as the greats, but it's what you do in those hours that separates the legends from the forgotten. While they sleep, you rise. While they dream, you build. While they wait for the perfect moment, you create it. So stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for luck. Stop waiting for someone to come save you. Be your own rescue. Be your own push. Be your own reminder that greatness was never meant to be comfortable. It was meant to be earned in sweat, in sacrifice, in silence before the sun comes up. When you wake up at 4 a.m., you're sending a message to the universe. I'm ready, I'm not afraid, I'm built for this. You're declaring that your purpose is louder than your comfort, your dream is stronger than your excuses, and your hunger is greater than your fear. One day, people will look at your life and say, how did you do it? And you'll smile because they'll never understand the mornings you woke up in pain, the days you showed up tired, the nights you went to bed with nothing left to give but still got up anyway. That's the price of greatness. That's the mark of a warrior. So tomorrow morning, when the world is silent and your alarm goes off, don't think, move. Don't hesitate, rise. Don't wait, build. Because the moment you open your eyes and take that first step, You've already beaten the old you. You've already started winning. This is your time. This is your season. This is your moment. Wake up early, work hard, stay humble, and remember the world doesn't belong to those who wish for it. It belongs to those who wake up and work for it.